Welcome back, everybody, to Let's Play Dragon's Dogma. I am your host, Alexander Frost, and this is episode 4. And it's been a long time coming. Now, I have a bit of bad news. Both bad and good. The bad news being that new headset I bought, that Rosetta Stone headphone set I bought, remember how I used it on the last 3 episodes of Parasite Eve? Remember how awesome my voice sounded? Guess what? The microphone doesn't work anymore. I tried to use it last night to test it on Dragon's Dogma, to test out some recording. I was like, yeah, no, I'm done working. Okay, thanks, bye. I have very little money, man. And I chose Rosetta Stone because I thought it was a quality product. Nope. It's a piece of crap. Fortunately, though, I was able to call up Rosetta Stone and I was like, hey, yo, new headset, come on. It doesn't work. I want my money back. And what saddens me is the fact that they gave in. They just said, yeah, okay, here's the address, send it back, we'll give you your money back. That says to me that so many people have had a problem with their product that they've just defaulted to saying, we'll give you your money back, instead of fighting for it. Instead of saying, okay, what's wrong with it? Send it back to us, we'll fix it, or we'll give you a new set of headphones, or whatever. We'll make it right. They've just defaulted to, whatever, give them their money back, we don't want to fight with it. That's sad. That really is sad. The good news is, however, when I went to go get my school books in the bookstore, they have all kinds of stuff. They have computer programs, headphones like what I'm using. Heck, I could have bought a brand new laptop today if I wanted to. And, yeah, I just bought a cheap $25 pair of headphones with a microphone attached. And thus far it has worked flawlessly. The other bit of news I have is in regards to my old VCR. I figured out the reason why in the first 3 episodes of Dragon's Dogma that you could only hear audio out of one speaker, but you could hear me because I was recording it differently. For whatever reason, on my VCR, it has the 3 jacks, red, yellow, and white. I unplugged the red one, and audio came through on both sides just fine. So, yeah, I'm worried that my VCR is about to kick the bucket. It's a pretty old VCR. So, so many problems. But that's not what you're here for. You're here to see Beardo in all his awesome glory. Well, semi-awesome glory. I mean, let's be honest here. We don't exactly look like hero material. We look more like a starting adventurer. At least we don't look like a vagabond anymore, then. You can't argue with that. Well, the good thing is, though, about this new headset is just like the ones I used for recording Parasite Eve last week, is I can keep the volume on the headset turned up so I can actually hear all the details, but it doesn't bleed over into the microphone, so there's no echo, at least that I've seen. Well, now let me see. What alt attacks do I have? It's been over a week since I last played. Let's see. I have Blink Strike and I have Shield Summons. That's it. Well, there's nothing for it. It's morning. It's a fine day. Let us go on to adventure! Hey, I should probably check my quests. Do I have any side quests just laying around that need to be done? I don't know. Let me check. Let's see. Quests. Once upon a pawn. Well, close enough. Rat catcher. Okay, yeah. I'll end up defeating the number of goblins along the way. And slaying 7 mice. I can't do that until I get access to the well. So I'm not even worried about that. And, alright then.
To the encampment.
Alright.
This path should see us there.
We are already well on our way, and I just realized my TV isn't at quite the right angle, so let me shift. Oh, that's much better. There's less of a blur now. I can see better. Yeah, it's alright. The coloration's alright. Like I said, it's a very dark game. Very, very dark. I don't remember if I told you about the brine or not. The brine is something that's in the water. I believe I did tell you about it, but, If we go too far into the water, it'll take hold of us and spit us back out on the shoreline. And we kind of don't want that to happen. I mean, it won't hurt us, but it is kind of an annoyance. It's just a way of keeping us from leaving. It's better than invisible walls.
Should the enemy prove too powerful, there is no shame in fleeing.
He speaks truthfully. There is literally no shame in running away from combat. If you can't handle it, turn tail and run. There is no shame in it. He who fights and runs away, lives to fight another day. It's not so much being a live coward as opposed to being a dead hero, it's more being a live adventurer so you can actually collect the reward at the end. Speaking of reward, you notice how this...
You'll find ore, plants, and other materials at harvest points.
You see how this kind of glows like this? This is a gather point. I can gather items here. That is, if Rook stops getting in the way. There's not much I can gather here. You can combine items too, but I really don't have much to combine. And all these gather points respawn. I'm pretty sure I've covered this before.
This road will have us to the encampment ere much longer.
Now, these are exploding barrels. If you strike them, they will explode. You could pick them up and throw them at enemies to do damage, but when you see them bunched together in threes like this, shut up for a second. You can't pick them up. However, whoa, don't. Oh, well, how about that? It fell apart. Yes, your pawns have a tendency to break breakable objects so that you can get the items held within. Don't ask me why. And we will try to avoid travel by night if we can, early on.
Well met, Arisen. Can you hear our voice?
If memory serves.
Yes, actually we can. So this is the encampment.
I know the way, Master. Follow me.
I will, in a moment. There's something over here that beckons us. Well, not so much beckons us, but I need to get it now while I'm thinking about it. There it is. First journal entry. This will become apparent as to why we need it later. Now, whenever you see treasure chests like that, with the exception of treasure chests like this, most treasure chests will respawn, and unless you see a guard physically protecting it, unless you actually talk to them and they say, "Don't touch this," it's up for grabs. But in the case of treasure chests like this, which contain key items, they'll only cough up an item once, and then they will never be accessible again. That looks familiar. There's one of those back at Cassitus. You know what? I just realized. What is the name of this land we are traveling through? There's Granzis. I can't believe I forgot that. And this here is Miss Mercedes.
Ought to say so?
We like her. She's nice. Now, before we do anything else, Horspod juice. Oh, liquid vim, yes! Liquid vim is an amazing little item. I will explain why as soon as I'm finished gathering stuff here. Are we done? Is that it? Alright. Horspud juice is awesome because it restores both health and stamina. It is the only item of its type that actually does that. It's amazing because you can use it at any time, even if you're latched onto an enemy, even if the enemy has you in its grip and you cannot get away from it. You can use this to restore your stamina, which is very, very important, especially if you're climbing on a giant enemy. There are 3 different levels. There's Horspud milk, which restores very little, juice, which restores an average amount, and then Horspud sauce, which restores about half of your stamina, roughly. Very, very, very useful. Also very expensive. Warlock's Draught, what does that do? Restore. Okay, if your magic goes down for some reason, you can restore. That I will sell. And then Liquid Vim. Oh my God, infinite stamina for about 25 to 30 seconds. Oh my god, so useful. Oh, they are rare, but there is a way you can get a hold of more of them. But it's expensive. What else do I have over here? Okay. Kindling. It's used to make torches, and can I actually mix that with anything? Combine. Can I combine it? Oh yes, I can combine it with a flask of oil to make oil arrows. And we should get a trophy for that. Said we should get a trophy for that. Fuck you then. Oil arrows, children. When you shoot an enemy with them, well, there it is. When you shoot an enemy with an oil arrow, it douses them in oil. Hit them with any kind of fire, they catch fire. It just makes them more susceptible to being lit on fire, really. Now, since we are not an archer of any kind, we can't equip them, but we can hold on to them for now. Let's see. Oh, cloud wine. Yes, we want to hold on to that. Cedar branch is used to make bows and arrows. Pardon me, I'm sorry. I was eating cinnamon and sugar pita chips. Those things are delicious. There is this. It is a traveler's daybook, is that what it says? It outlines the decision. It's a journal. It's a journal. What more do you want? A war bugle. It is a key item that we will need to collect a whole bunch of as the game progresses. Now that we're done taking all that stuff, we can talk to this man. How you doing?
Have all you need? We are an inn first and foremost, but we offer more than simple lodging. We can safeguard your belongings, or aid in learning new skills. Have your pick, any you like.
Absolutely. You see, back at Cassidy, all we could do is put items in. We could either store items away or pick them out again. Here, we can do the same. We can also learn or set new skills.
What will it be today?
For now, we want to learn new skills. Now, I just realized there was something I wanted to do. Well, you know what? I take it back. Until we actually hit the capital city, which is called Grand Soren, we really can't do anything else. We can't, that explanation will probably have to wait until a few videos down the line. So here's how it works.
What will it be today?
Let me exit out of this so I can get to,
Come again soon.
so I can get to my thing. I know how to do it. Nah. I'm the LP here, I'll explain it. Status. At the bottom there, you see our vocation, which is fighter, our current rank, and our discipline points. Rank indicates our current level of training as a fighter. Now, we're only at the very first rank, so we're not that far along. Discipline points are points that are used to buy new skills within our vocation. Now, I had originally thought that you earned discipline points whenever you leveled up. This is not so. When you fight enemies, you will earn discipline points. The more powerful and dangerous the enemy, the more points you earn. So it pays to keep on fighting. Now, obviously, when we were running around there, we didn't run into anything, so we're not going to get a whole lot of points. We got to be careful about what we pick.
We can safeguard your belongings. Have your pick, any you like.
As you go up in rank, you will end up unlocking newer and better skills. So for right now, what do we have? We have Broad Cut. Cuts it broad swath with the blade, falling back to avoid attacks. Fairly useful. And then Skyward Lash, which looses a flurry of skyward slashes well suited to bringing down flying foes. Now, the little symbol in the lower right, I think that means either it's exclusive to fighter or it will only... Some abilities will transfer over to other shared classes. There are more classes available as the game goes on, but for right now, I think Skyward Lash probably transfers to other classes, but we haven't seen any others yet. Shield skills, Shield Strike. This will stagger an opponent that is guarding. No matter how big and strong they are, you will stagger something if you hit it with this. And then Symbol Attack, which uses a barrage of strikes with a shield. I usually don't get that. It's not that useful. Core skills. Core skills are skills that are activated always. Now in this case, Dire Onslaught. It's an advanced form of base skill, adding a new pattern of chains to sword attacks. It lets us use newer attacks, sort of like in Devil May Cry. with the Rebellion sword. If you just press the button rapidly, you would unleash a standard 3-hit combo. But if you press the button once, waited a second, and then pressed it again, you would unleash a new string of hits that were more fancy and did more damage overall. This is the same way. With Dire Onslaught, it's a skill that transfers to sword and maces. So if I have a sword, that being a one-handed sword, or a mace equipped, I can do it. If I don't, well, then I can't do it, but it's always active. Oh yes, whenever you press triangle, this applies it to our heavy attack, and Dire Onslaught applies it to our triangle attack. As you can see, they cost 800 and 600 respectively. We don't have enough points for that. And we don't have any augments. Augments are abilities that are somewhat unique to fighter, to each individual vocation. You can equip any augment from any class. You can equip up to 8 augments at a time, and they can be from any class. So it actually pays to try out different classes because there are different skills, different augments from different classes that are useful. For example, the Ranger class, a class that we will have access to later, has an augment which doubles the size of our lantern light, allowing us to see even more. This is an excellent augment that can be used with any vocation. That just makes the game itself easier. But as you can see, we really don't have anything unlocked right now because we're only a level 1 fighter, or a rank 1 fighter. So for the time being, we are going to get... Do I want to get Broadcut? I don't use it all that often. I'm going to get Skyward Lash. Wait, hold up. I might have to get Broad Slash anyways because I want Shield Strike first and foremost. And then I don't have enough to get Skyward Lash, so I'll have to get Broadcut. Alright. Yes, change my enabled skills. Yes, please. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and put Broadcut. No, not there. I want Broadcut here on Circle. And I don't have any augments. But I have Shield Summons. I want to switch that for Shield Strike, and then I want to put Shield Summons there. Perfect.
Have your pick. Any you like. Come again soon.
Alright, we are good to go.
Well met, Arisen. Can you hear our voice? We speak to you from across great distance. The Pawn Legion has awaited you. Pray, forgive this strange and impersonal greeting. This rift serves as a gate. It connects our kind to your world. It opens to the Arisen, for they possess a will powerful enough to guide the Legion. If you would claim to be among the Arisen, prove the strength of your resolve.
I shall.
Very well. Then we shall guide you in your trial. If you are an Arisen in truth, this humble task will prove no obstacle. The Arisen must possess the valor to stand against all threats, and the power to quell them. A tireless spirit of self-improvement grants the strength to lead the Legion. Pray, show it now.
Fortunately, I already know what it is we need to do. We are going to face something big, bad, and very, very strong.
A Riftstone. Shall we search the area?
The beast comes! Hurry!
Whatever happens, remember, don't be frightened. Fear not.
There may be prowling monsters about.
Well, there's no monsters in here. They're out there. Oh, there are quests on the quest board. They can wait. They can wait. This, children, is a Cyclops. There are a few things to note on fighting a Cyclops. First of all, its weakness is lightning. If you hit it with lightning, you can stun it. You can put it in a daze and make it vulnerable to attack. The horns, the tusks on its head, these are also vulnerable points. If you strike one of them and break it, it will be dazed for a few moments. However, note that the moment it realizes one of its tusks is gone, it will actually put a hand to its face and feel for it. Once it realizes it's gone, it will get pissed. If you break both of them, pray that you are not standing in front of it when it starts to charge. Its only other weak point is its eye. The best way to hit it is using arrows, but since we do not possess any, the best thing we can do is to try to climb on it and strike at its head. That said, come at me for I am Beardo, motherfucker! Another thing to note, whoa, hold still, stop moving.
I'll grab its legs to draw it higher.
There we go, yep. There it is.
It's fire!
Be careful of that right there. Two things. First of which, whenever you grab onto any large enemy, be careful of latching onto its limbs. You have a certain amount of stamina. Your stamina drains as you hang on to an enemy. The more it flails around to try to shake you off, the more stamina you will lose. That being said, if you latch onto an extremity, the hand of a Cyclops, for example, you will lose stamina faster because you are at the very edge of its flailing. However, if you stick to its body, you will lose less stamina. Second thing, whenever you latch on to a Cyclops, as I have done, and try to strike at the back of its head, always try to stay to the right side. If it feels something on its back, it will try to grab it, as you just saw, with its left hand. If I were too far to the center or on the left, it would have grabbed me in its hand, and it would be nomming on my head right now. But it's not. Another thing to remember, when you're using a sword to attack this thing, always use, is it dead? Oh, it said quest successful. Damn it, this is gonna hurt. It said quest successful. I thought it was done. Whenever you're latched onto its head, always use square when you're using a one-handed sword to attack. Never use triangle unless you're ready to leap off of it. Reason being is your character will leap up into the air and do a downward heavy slash. If you miss, or are in the wrong position, you will land at its feet and be vulnerable. Also, that's what happens if you run out of stamina. Alright, I got this.
I shall strike.
Ouch, that hurt. I know how the health thing works. I've explained it. There it goes. Easy peasy, 1, 2, 3-zy. We knew what we were doing. Granted, the first time I fought this fight, I got killed about 4 times. A rugged bone. Giant monsters always drop big stuff. And that's always handy to find. Ooh, what's this? Oh, that was from those trolls. Oh, you know what? I realized what it was. It was the goblins. Those goblins that died because of the pawn, because of Rook, because of the Cyclops and all that. They counted towards my total of killing 10 goblins. That's where the quest complete came from, and that's why I let go. Because I thought, well, the Cyclops still has a sliver of health, but if quest complete, that means he must be about to fall. Nope, I was wrong. Mistakes are meant to be made.
We've done as asked. Set out from here and we'll be...
Now, I'm not actually going to go back in there because the game is going to ask me to make my own pawn. And I'm not ready to do that just yet. Not in this video. Well, no, wait, I take it back. Those kinds of quests, you will complete them as the game goes on. So actually, I do, or maybe I don't know. We'll split the video. That's what we'll do. We'll split the video. I'll heal up shortly. For right now, I'm okay.
With that, your trial is complete. You are the Arisen in truth, proven beyond any doubt. Now, I bid you select a companion for the journey ahead. They shall serve you, and you alone, to share in your hardships and aid you in every endeavor.
And that said, boys and girls, we are now tasked with creating our own personal pawn who will accompany us on future adventures. They will always be with us. We can hire up to 2 extra pawns to get a party of 4. However, the other 2 are pawns that belong to other Arisens from other lands. Whenever they're in our party, they will not level up, so this means we will have to change our party constantly as the game goes on. But the pawn that we create here and now will always be with us to the very end. So next time, we will have a pawn ready and waiting for us.